Hello everybody, Headspace Connections back with another video. This time we're answering a question that we received on one of our past videos. This one was asking us that being such a big system, how are we able to keep track of everybody? And for us, we have different methods, inner world and outer world. Inner world, we have set people that their jobs are specifically to keep track of people. We have going from the bottom up, I guess you could say, in the hierarchy system that we have, kind of thing. We have scouters, and these guys basically their job is to go and find possible hidden ones. Now, above ones and other ones that we have, they're called seekers. These basically just mean that they do the same job that the scouters do. They're just able to get into those places that the scouters may not be able to. Now, scouters and the seekers, they usually go up the line, and whatever information they have on whoever they've found, they give them to our managers. Our managers are the ones that will keep track of the people and have their lists of people that live in or have been found in their regions, their specific regions. We have a few of them. And the managers have people that will send that information to our main bookkeeper. And basically what he does is he keeps master list of everybody that has been found. It keeps all the information on everybody. And he's also our map keeper. So any new inner world changes that happen, he's the one that keeps up with it. And the inner world, that's kind of how we keep up with people. Now, for outer world, it's a little bit different. For us, we have multiple different methods of doing it that both interchangeably work together. For us, for the ones that do journal, we like to we have to keep separate ones, and I'll show you why in a second. We like to generally keep journal information because it just keeps everything kind of in one single place. Now, for us, because we are a large system, we have multiple different journals for a specific reason. Because it's easier. This one is what our version of our master list. And as you can see, there's a lot of names. And we usually, and this is just specifically just to keep the names of the people that we have. But we have the list organized this way because we have numbers next to the names. And basically we'll write them in as each new altar is affronted and recognized. And with that number system we have on here, we put it in here. Each page is marked with its own personal number, 1 through however many will fit. Generally, composition notebooks will fit up to 200, and that's what we have on ours. And when we do the information, like in this journal, it's a little bit different because we have our whole layout. These are going to go into a little more detail, personal details even. May not be something that we would post on social medias. But some of the general information and the way we organize it, we go by their names. Obviously, name of the altar you guys have marked. This one's number 2. Again, the numbers will coincide with the list names on these, and it makes it easier to find if you're looking for somebody specifically. And we go by names, title. Basically, title, that means what are they known for as. Like number 2, this one's talking about Alice. She's one of our managers, and her title is the detective because in her backstory, she worked as a cop. And we have gender, nickname. What are some of the nicknames they are known by in our world? languages they speak, species, human, orc, other kin, fairy, elf, whatever. Species, race, it's kind of the same thing. Age, what age they look like, what age they really are. It just depends on who you're talking about. Role, what role do they play? Status, are they married? Are they fused, integrated, whatever, however you want to put it. Nationality, what nationality do they identify with? She is British, so we have here that she's from the UK. Specialties, do they have a special set talent that make them unique from everybody else? And job, now their job, it can be, you can either put for inner world or outer world, but it just kind of depends on how you do it. This is specifically how we do it. You don't necessarily have to do it exactly like this. Features, what are their facial features, clothing features, things like that. We have a row of 3 for their likes and dislikes, and then we have some space over here that if you wanted to add on, you could. And then basic info. And basically what that is that you can add their before system backstory if they have one, or you can add their system story from now in the present time. And that's basically how we organize it on here. Like I said, we go into more details in here than we would in our social versions. But for those of you that don't necessarily like journaling or have a hard time keeping up with it, we do the social media ones, because if something happens to our journals, then we're going to lose all our information. So we keep accounts on Instagram and Pinterest. Now for Instagram, we post just the one picture. We post mood boards, and we'll go into a little bit more description on that and what that entails. But we post the person's mood board and very basic information, kind of similar to the same layout as here. We just take out whatever personal details they would rather have not on there. And if something happens to these, then we have that information on there, and we can just copy that information and put it back on more journals if we decide to do it that way. Now for Pinterest, we like using Pinterest because you can kind of do the same thing as you can on your phone, like make personal set files, because we have personal files for everybody on our phone, but we also keep them on our Pinterest. So for those of you that may not have a lot of space on your phone, or it may run out quickly, Pinterest is another great layout. We use it to keep track of our system maps and our inner world mapping. And you can take a look at those for yourselves, and it'll kind of help give you a general idea of how we organize things. And you don't have to do it exactly like I said. Everybody does their own thing, but who knows, maybe it'll give you some tips or clues. Either way, it's got to be helpful for something. So now on Pinterest, not really much for words, obviously, it's more for pictures. So over there, whatever files or pictures that we have on people's files on our phone that we find for them, what, kind of like they like, what they wear, face claims, stuff like that, we'll put them on Pinterest. That way, if something does happen to our phone and we lose our files and our pictures and things like that, we can go on Pinterest and re-download them when we get a new one, or if we get our situation figured out. And we really like Pinterest because you could do like set files too, kind of similar to how you can organize your phone, and put everybody in and have their own set files for everything. So if you're looking for somebody specific, it's all right there. You don't have to go digging through a whole lot of it. And that's basically it. That's basically what we do. Like, it seems like we have a lot of outlets and a lot of places for this, but really it all serves its own purpose for backups and if something happens. But that's basically how we do ours. Um, as I said, with the mood boards that we do, we will also put those on Pinterest. And mood boards basically is our way of kind of having a more general picture, because the mood boards are the ones that we also will post on Instagram. And basically, it will be a little layout of multiple, kind of like a picture collage of the person, their face claim, their clothing style, maybe makeup style, foods they like, things like that. You can add whatever you want on there. That's just how we do it. And we find them pretty beneficial because it also helps you kind of get more general information and background on the set person that you're trying to build that mood board for. And it also kind of helps build the relationship a little bit, because while you're looking to trying to figure out who they are, they're also trying to kind of maybe help figure it out too. And even if they're an alter that doesn't speak, because we do have some of those, if they're co-con with us while we're looking at stuff, they kind of give us a general idea. It's like, okay, we'll look at this, and if they like it, great. Pick out some things, put them in their file. If not, give us another general idea of something else, and we'll go into that. And that's basically how we organize it. But now, these methods can work for those of you that may not necessarily be super polyfragmented like we are. If you're a smaller system, the same methods can still apply, and it can still help you guys be able to keep track of who's who. We also know that a lot of people like to use avatar makers to make face claims for their alters if they have a hard time finding them online. So there really is just many methods that you can do. It's basically just finding one that works for you in your system. This is what works for us, and it seems kind of maddening and kind of a lot to keep up with, but really for us it works because there's a method to it. There's a reason why we have these many outlets and why we do things the way we do. And we're also going to go ahead and post our Instagram intro account so you guys can get a general idea of how we do that. And we'll also post our Pinterest. We usually generally will post it on our videos anyway, but we don't generally post our Instagram intro one. But we're going to go ahead for this one. We're going to post them so that you guys can look into that and be able to kind of figure out and see, pull bits and pieces of what may work for you guys and things like that. But that's basically it. For those of you that might have any other questions, feel free to comment below, and we'll get back to you or make a video about it, whatever, however it works. You can message us personally. Like I said, we do have our Pinterest and our Instagram by the same name, Headspace Connections, so it's fairly easy to find us. And you can also talk to us personally. We do not mind at all. We're usually pretty open and try to keep track and look at our messages fairly regularly. So we are okay with that. And that's basically about it. If you guys like what we do, please feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way it'll let you know we have another video uploaded. But other than that, that's all we got for this video. We hope it was helpful and that maybe helped give you guys a little bit of insight on maybe how to help with your system mapping and inner world mapping maybe. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.